Hey there toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at Transformers Age of the Primes Prima Prime, or Prima Prime, but I think it's Prima Prime, and I can't say Prima Prime without thinking Flavor Flav, which is of course not the same thing at all. But nevertheless, here we are with Prima Prime, the first Prime, according to Transformers lore, or some Transformers lore, depending on the Transformers lore you are allowing yourself to follow. But either way, let's see, next entry into the 13 Primes collection. So here we have the artwork on the front of Prima wielding his Matrix sword or Star Saber, whatever we want to call it. There's his Cybertronian armored vehicle mode, Transformers, Age of the Primes, the 13, and it's Prima Prime, and it's of course on this wonderful minimalist black and gold box art. I love it. We have some of the primes on the side there. I believe we're looking at the Vector Prime there, Prima Prime there, and I think that's Alpha Trion, from what I can see, who was released previously. I don't know if we're going to get an Alpha Trion in this range. More of the artwork here, and then on the back it is the necessary product shots. You can see that there's a Matrix chamber in his chest for the Matrix, but the Matrix also forms the hilt of the Matrix blade or Star Saber. There he is in product shot mode, and there is his saber. I will say it's only 20 steps to transform him, which is interesting for this particular Voyager class, because we had more than 20 steps to transform Solus Prime. And there was some a whole lovely range of complications with that. But anyway, let's start looking at this figure. And first of all, I can say all of the articulation is on point. The shoulders are maneuverable so that they don't get in the way if you're going for 360 rotations of the arm. Really very nice articulation all round. We have wrist, and there are some finger articulation as well. I mean, they're molded together, but you can open and close his clenching hands, which is nice when he's wielding his Matrix sword, and it really is a very nicely detailed weapon. I love the blue translucent plastic, the silver extended hilt here, and on the base of the hilt itself is the Matrix, which is detachable and can go into his chest, but I really like it there, so that's where I think it's going to stay. Let's move his arms slightly, because I just sort of had him all posed up for dramatic purposes, but you can see that there is some lovely blue detailing, and his eyes as well. If you can get a nice view of his head there, his eyes, the face sculpt is lovely. Let's see if I can go in a bit closer specifically to get a nice view of that face. But yeah, very nice face sculpt, lovely eyes showing there, and yeah, this blue is throughout his body. There's some very nice detailing. I'm just trying to get the focus slightly better. It doesn't seem to want to play for some reason. But yeah, the blue detailing down his chest, on his arms as we carry on. There's a little bit there on the crutch plate. We go down onto the legs. You can see there's some on the knee guards and on his shins there. Really nicely done. Subtle, but it breaks up the rest of the sort of opaque grayness a little bit on the and it also allows for that sort of visible translucent blue plastic that is there at the back. So that's the front. You can see all the surface detailing there. The back is there's a relatively flat profile, a bit like Solus Prime. There is a rather obvious vehicle section on the back, but hey, Transformers and backpacks, they do kind of go together. But again, the detailing on the back, he's not exactly hollow. The wheels seem to fill out the back of his legs, so it's hollow-esque, but I guess we can't really call it hollow if it's full of something. But again, nice articulation, everywhere you would expect to see it. You've got it, and I really like it, and I think the figure does look really, quite frankly, excellent, and it's very poseable. And you can't see me posing it because I'm a little bit too closely positioned, but yeah, he's very poseable and very photographic. I mean, even at this distance from the camera, you can really see that blue popping against his natural body color, and I think it just looks so good. So I'm going to transform him now into his Cybertronian mode off camera, so I don't share all of my foul language and faux pas with you whilst I'm trying to transform it. And then if there are any major concerns or issues I had, I'll share them with you when we look at his vehicle mode. Whilst I go and do that, you could take a moment to like the video. That would be wonderful and very much appreciated. And in addition to that, you could also drop a totally free subscription to the channel. That way you never miss a future video, but also it is a real boost to my ego, selfishly. But additionally to that selfishness, it also helps YouTube know that it might be worth recommending this video to other people. And of course, if you do have Transformers friends who might be interested in this and are considering picking up Prima Prime, by all means feel free to share the video. I have no problems with that whatsoever. Go right ahead. Anyway, you take care, and I shall see you as soon as I get Prima Prime transformed up, quicker than it takes time to say, till all are one. And one they are. Here we have Prima Prime all transformed into his Cybertronium armoured truck mode, which is, I guess, what this is. I really like this design. I didn't think I was going to. I like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. You can see the sword is tabbed on there on the side for storage. There is an alternative that the instructions suggest, which is plugging it in the front, so it acts like a battering ram or slicing thing. I just think it looks a bit unwieldy and a little bit problematic, so I kind of like it tabbed in here. You can also tab it in other places. I'll do a couple of shots for the closing of the video, but ultimately, if you take a little 360 around the edges, it's not bad, and it tabs together really well. I had a couple of minor issues with the arms, because again, I don't know whether that's me and tabbing arms in at the moment. I couldn't make it work, and then suddenly it fell into place. Really, it was because there are some tabs on the bottom, and we'll talk about that visible head syndrome in a second, where this section actually needed to tab underneath the arms, and only one side had effectively done that. So that was a bit of a problem. About this visible head syndrome, you'll see clearance is minimal. There is clearance, but it's minimal. So if you are someone who wants to be rolling Prima Prime along, and it's going to be over mixed terrain, be mindful, we may have scratched face syndrome. You could rotate the head, but then it's going to be the back of the head that gets scratched. So just be very mindful of that. It does have a hover mode as well, which is where essentially the wheels fold under like this, so it gives you its sort of what would you call it, a Back to the Future vibe, and it does it on both sides. Not so easy to display in that mode, and to retab these in is a nuisance when you do that, so you won't be overly doing that. But yeah, once again, it's one of those things where it feels like you're doing some counterintuitive stuff around the arms, but then once you do it, it actually works really well. The surface detailing is very nice, with the blue, again with the blue highlights there on the bumper. We also have the lovely translucent blue plastic for a canopy, with some interesting detailing there on the interior. Yes, they're the legs, but they mash in really nicely with the rest of the body, and so it really just genuinely looks like he's converted into an alternative mode of speedy transportation. Those are obviously his legs dangling out the back there, and his feet tuck away quite neatly. But the surface detailing on the side, very Cybertronian. Love the piston-y type stuff around the wheels. Honestly, didn't think I was going to like this. It's another one that gives off sort of Cup vibes. So maybe Cup's pickup truck from the future is a bit based on this sort of Cybertronian look, where you have the cab that looks a bit like that, and then the prongy bits out the back. But maybe I'm just looking for stuff that doesn't exist. Maybe Cup is a descendant of Prima Prime. We do know that Prima Prime's logo is here. Let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. Is here on the hilt of the blade. As you may or may not be aware, all of the the 13 primes have their symbol stamped somewhere on their equipment or their accessories or whatever you want to call them, as they were generated and made by Solus Prime. And Prima Prime is no example, is no exception to that. So what do we think? Do we like Prima Prime? Do we think it's a botched job of a transformation? Or do we actually think this is actually quite a cool look for a Cybertronian vehicle? I always wonder whether they would actually have wheels, but again, we do know he has hover mode, so maybe he's that's an indication of just how old he is, that he would be dependent on wheels for some of it. I like it, but I'd love to know your thoughts. So please do, as ever, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are you picking up the 13 primes? Do you have a particular prime that you're particularly keen to see in a future video? Are you looking forward to a particular release? Because, not a spoiler, I am going to collect all 13. And I'm very aware that there'll be challenges along the way to do that, because some of them are going to be a lot harder to find than others. And I'd also love to hear your thoughts. I know we're way in the distance for this, on the use of the Titan class for 2025 as Star Optimus Prime, or as he perhaps should be called, Battlestar Optimus Prime, or perhaps Star Convoy. Whatever, do you think he should be the 13th Prime? I noticed something very interesting on the packaging for Megatronus, which I will show you when I do the Megatronus video, which is coming up very shortly. And I've not heard anybody else mention this. I'm sure somebody has. But there's something on the packaging that I drew my attention, and I thought, that's interesting. I must remember to mention it when I unbox it and do my little tour of the figure. So watch out for that in my Megatronus video. And again, if you haven't already, do subscribe to the channel, because it really will help me boost my videos and my content, which means the absolute world, because I'm, again, small channel, only doing it for fun, but it's more fun with more people, so that would be fantastic. Anyway, I'm just glad you spent the last 20 or so minutes with me. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been a wonderful audience, and I very much appreciate your time and interest. And this has been Transformers Age of the Primes, Prima Prime, from the 13 Primes. And I very much look forward to seeing you in a future video, or indeed perhaps a past video. And it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Take care, and bye-bye for now.